Hey, Dave Armstrong here, Monument Wealth Management. It's Monday, July 15th, and want to cover a couple thoughts I have coming out of the weekend. So it's natural rolling into the summer. There's a lot of questions, especially where we are in the market these days. So I'm hearing things like, what's the Fed going to do? Are we going to see the market go down as earnings season gets underway, given the expectation of poor corporate earnings? And are we heading into a recession? So great. People are talking about those things. They're asking questions. The news is talking about it. Blah, 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 blah. People are reading about it. The news is talking about it. Here's the deal. Okay. No one out there is in possession of any special knowledge or perspective that isn't already known and being reflected in a global economy with 7.6 billion people in it, participating in that global economy in some level or another. So that's that. The reality as we see it here is that we are still in a subpar recovery. And that means that when you're in a subpar recovery, there is an elevated risk from some sort of external shock. And external shocks just can't be built into any sort of probability model, and specifically that applies to our MonCon recession model. Okay, so what are external shocks? Things like a steep or protracted euro area recession, a hard landing in China. It could be further U.S. credit rating downgrades. It could be some sort of geopolitical event like Iran, starts tension or starts some sort of conflict and oil prices spike up and we have an oil shock. So those are kind of some examples, right? And a lot of the inputs into our MonCon recession model just look at what we're seeing in the U.S. economy itself and don't take into account any of those external factors. Now, this is because we feel that trying to model these would be pure speculation, and we just want to deal in factual, real numbers. Speculating on those events introduces bias, and that's something that our models are specifically designed to ignore. Okay, now, should those external shocks come to light, they're definitely going to show up in the US economy somewhere, and the inputs in the models are designed to detect that. Okay, until then, we're just not going to speculate on the probability of these external risks. Now, here's the really important thing to remember. Never ever confuse weakening growth with a recession. Slow growth is still growth. It's the difference between having a broken down car and being on the highway wishing you were going 65 but you're only going 45. Okay, you're still moving forward, right? We just continue to struggle to find any sort of overwhelming evidence of a recession in the short term, despite the yield curve showing some inversions and some warning signs. But here's the thing about that. It's really important to remember that the lead times to a recession from a yield curve inversion are very long and they're very widely dispersed. So they are just not good. They're not useful at all for market timing purposes. So hope you like some of the videos. I'm enjoying doing these. Wherever you're hanging out on social media, you can find us. LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we're pretty much out there. So hit us up and follow us there and stay informed. Give me some feedback on the videos if you like them, and I'll do some more.